and welcome to News Center Daily Dialogue. I have to sit down, maybe relaxed, because that's the only thing you can do at this point in time. Today we are going to discuss something important, INEC, in the just concluded governorship elections in Imo State, Kogi State, and Baised. Our emphasis will be on Imo State and Kogi State. At the end of this video, you will be the judge. You'll be the one to maybe tell us what to think about. What do you really think about INEC, their performance in these elections? However, you could remember when Tuna Achebe said that things fall apart and the center cannot hold. Then many people were arguing based on the way they understood it. But I can tell you today, things do not just fall apart. Things are missing. Things are missing. It did not just fall apart and disappear. Things are meeting. Whatever you call the thing, whether it is called Nigerian democracy, it is missing. Whether you call it a vision of a country, it does not just fall apart. It has disappeared. Whether you call it sincerity of purpose, it is no longer there. It disappeared. That's a kind of intro to what really happened in Imo State and Kogi State. Well, I want you to take a look of the account of PDP candidates in these two states. There's need for us to focus on PDP candidates so that this video will not be voluminous. It's not interesting time in our national history. It's not just interesting time. We're in a nation where those who are supposed to help the country are the reason for why the country is the way it is. I will not bore you with so many speeches. Let's go to Imo State to hear from Senator Anel, the PDP candidate in Imo State, who will share with us his experience today, how the election was conducted in Imo State.
Well, of course, you've already said it. The exercise in Imo State, the election today was not an election. Rather, it's a war. It's a war because what INEC promised was not what we saw. First of all, we found out that the election started by 10:30. I voted by 10:30, even though there was voters' apathy. But yet, we found out that in the middle of the election, we saw a lot of non-state actors supported by the police cutting away materials from all the polling booths. I'll give an example. In a place like our local government, 7 wards, the ballot papers, materials were carted away. I was sent to the house of the traditional ruler called SUO, where they started templating. In Unkwere local government, they carted away materials and sent it to one mass house. They go to once or so. In my place, they also went and carted materials, went to one man called Charles Amadi, and the son was also arrested. The son is a 7-member of the House of Reps. He was arrested and sent to the custody as we speak. The policeman that accompanied them to cut materials was apprehended, beaten to stupor. Arms taken away from him by the restive youths who was resisting the taking away of their materials. The funny part of it is this: in our Kiwe zone, there was no election, no resource chase sent to those polling units. But you can see that in most of those resources, when there's accreditation, when there was no accreditation, is reading 0. You find out that numbers were inflected. Where the numbers, where there was accreditation, you find out that the result uploaded was more than what's accredited. And this is very foul to what INEC said. And to be honest with you, this is no election. It is no election. Even somewhere at Tata in the Kedro, a young man was killed. I don't know when election has become a theater war. And for me, I would advise INEC that if you have said that they are going to use beavers, today beavers is not being used. You find out that the results are being collected manually, and they will tell you that the beavers is not working. There's no data. So I don't understand what kind of election is that. So as far as
You can hear from him. That is Senator Anao trying to tell us what he passed through. Election in Nigeria is now a theater of war, full-time war. That's a war. You can hear from his account that somebody was killed.
concerned the election in Imo,
You can hear from him that somebody was actually killed. So imagine what they would tell the family of the person being killed as a result of election. That is the country we are in. That is the state of things. Who will be accountable from the security agencies to INEC officials? Who will be held accountable for the losses in this election? The problem is, the biggest challenge we have as a country is when you are not affected, you don't talk. But if you are the receiving end, maybe that time you will talk as a country. I'm trying to get a video so that we can hear from Imo State, maybe Dino Malay, to tell us what actually transpired in Kogi State. It is something. After watching this video, I would like to know how you as a person will rate INEC, will be the judge. Can you trust an INEC to do the next election? Maybe next year under the leadership of Mahmoud. Let's try to get what Dino Malay said. Then we can continue.
of the election because that was not an election. Start by condemning in its totality the start by condemning in its totality the conduct of the elections yesterday and outrightly call for the total cancellation of the election because that was not an election. It is shameful that the unhealthy INEC refused to realize, ameliorate, or palliate the problems they created in the last presidential and governorship elections. Yesterday, in 5 local governments of the Central Senatorial District in Kogi State, there was no election in any. Surprisingly, accreditation was done manually. The beavers was not used. Prepared result sheets manifested even before accreditation took place. The evidence is all over the media. So INEC, as a matter of urgency, must cancel the election. Many areas where I won, after counting, my agents were told that there are no available result sheets to enter the results. And we have evidence to back up this assertion. As I speak to you, it is shameful that this is what our democracy has descended to. INEC have manifested more than ever before that they cannot be trusted, they are biased, they are compromised, and they cannot be a neutral umpire. INEC officials, youth corps members were caught yesterday with prepared result sheets even before the commencement of the processes leading to the election. A youth corps member was caught yesterday with 1 million naira in his bag. Complete 1 million naira with a prepared results already. There was deliberate suppression of my votes in Lokoja and Kogi local government. This was deliberately done by Bello and the APC to make sure that even in their orchestrated arrangements, I don't come second. Because they do believe that there will be a second ballot. And they believe that if there's a second ballot, I have tremendous influence and support in the central, and I can build an inroad in the east. So they will prefer any other person to come second, who will find it difficult to have support in the central and in the west. So with these various malpractices that have bedeviled this election, I call for the total cancellation of this election. I call for a total repentance. I am not worried, I am not disturbed. To the glory of God, I am okay. But it's just pathetic, and I sympathize with the people of Kogi State. I sympathize with the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I weep for our country. I weep for generations yet unborn, that in the 21st century, you have an umpire, you have an INEC that is biased. You will be shocked, as I am, that after all the promises by Mahmoud Yakubu, that Mahmoud Yakubu is there is no way Yaya Bello and the APC will have access to sensitive INEC documents without the collaboration of the highest level in INEC. They had result sheets before the election. These result sheets are supposed to be in the CBN. They are sensitive material that should not be tampered with. So how did APC gain access to ballot papers? How did they gain access to original result sheets? It shows that we have no INEC, we have no umpire, we only have an institution that is aiding fraud, that is aiding corruption, and that is aiding rigging. And this particular rigging I have never seen in my life. I have seen digital rigging, I have seen snatching of ballot papers. The last system of rigging in Kogi State election yesterday is legendary. It is scientific. It is well planned, well orchestrated, but poorly implemented. The implementation is myopic, it's porous, it's parochial. It displays intellectual stagnancy because their lie expired before even it was pronounced. All on the security agencies who apparently did very well yesterday. I applaud the security agencies for maintaining peace, though the strategy of APC in the Kogi election was not violent because they found out that that may not aid their intended corruption. But I want to state unequivocally that the battle to salvage the people of Kogi State, to me, is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And we have not heard the end of this yet, because I will fight this with the last blood in my vein. We will fight it to the latter. The people's mandate must be realized, and we will not allow Yaya Bello to have a third term. It is not possible. Yaya Bello cannot have a third time through a proxy. The people's mandate, the people's wish in this state must be fulfilled. This is not the wish of the people, and I say that we will not allow this to stand. We will wait to see what INEC will do. We will wait to see what INEC and what the reaction of INEC will be. But if they do not carry out ameliorations, we as citizens of this country, within the confines of the law, we will prove that power truly belongs to the people. This is not the end of it.
This is certainly not the end of it. This is not the end of it. Certainly. But how? Is it the judiciary that you will trust? Where else are you going to go? The issue is that if you ask me, do we have INEC? The answer is no. Is INEC independent? The answer is no. But what can you do when the same system can? I have so many things in my mind to say, but the beauty of all this is that you be the judge. You are going to tell us what you think about the election in Kogi and Imo State. We have heard from the PDP Goba candidate and the APC Goba candidate. We have heard from them exactly what they feel. I'm not saying that everything they said is 100% accurate. Neither am I saying endorsing it. But over time, but since their statement hours ago, INEC has not come out as an institution to say anything. In the case of Kogi State, Yaya Bello or INEC, neither of them have said anything about the Nomalaya outbox. Is it in Imo State? Nothing is yet being heard or reaction of INEC. So the issue is that we are in dilemma. Imagine a country without a reliable electoral empire, a country without a reliable judicial system. Imagine a country without a reliable electoral process. Imagine a country without reliable politicians. I think Nigeria, we are in for big calamity. The problem is many people who are in government today, 10, 15 years ago, have no access to government. 20 years ago, most of them don't. Today they are in government and they seem to be worse than the people they took over power from. This is how bad it is. But what will Dino Malaya do? Go to God? Is he the God that you will trust? In our local palace, you go explain tire. Kai. So this is a snippet of what we have today in politics. What's going on in politics today? Using Kogi state election and Imo state election. But I must say this, Nigeria are one of the most resilient people on this planet. Imagine an election where even somebody was killed as alleged, right, kill the people back candidate in Imo state. Imagine that kind of process. Imagine open day law robbery. Imagine in Kogi state where the result is already being computed. So whatever they are doing in the field is just formality. And tomorrow INEC will come out to begin to sensitize people. INEC will begin to accuse people of not coming out to vote. And begin to talk about voter apathy. When Dino Malaya said that mandate of the people, I laugh. What we are seeing in Nigeria over years has been mandate of some people. Of some people. It must be few people. They just decide what's goes on and that's all. I have to call this video relatively I'm somehow down, you know. This is not the kind of video to celebrate. This is not the kind of video to raise voice, you know. The election in Imo State and Kogi State. What do you think about INEC? Do you think that INEC deserves to be called biased umpire or corrupt umpire? Or none of the above? In the comment section, I will want you to tell us what you think about. Because I believe that even by now, there should have been a kind of protest, agitation for Mahmoud to resign. After the 2023 presidential election, Metro General election, for that young man doesn't even deserve to stay in office 1 second. Who will protest? Who will bear the cards? Who started? Maybe someone will tell me start it so that they will follow. And I will be telling another person start it so I will follow. Then who will start it? And we have a nice evening or nice night as we wait for another video. But remember, by tomorrow, we should be coming live again with interesting topics. And I believe in no distant time, we will find some of the things we are just running. It's unfortunate I'm not deleting this video. I'm going to leave it here for our own humble beginning. Thank you for watching.